Welcome back, everybody. We have been on a solid, real blessed adventure for about a week and a half. We decided that this video will have to be split up in parts. So grab a chair while we grab our running shoes and take you along. As you can see, Gary shot another one outside of the trap. He's just shy. They won't go near that one metal one. So we are about to get with the gentleman and put another trap up, sort of a net trap. And so that'll be in a future video, and I'll have some more pictures of some of the hogs that we get. Well, we've actually had some folks ask us, why do we trap, hunt, and remove these feral hogs? I'm going to try to answer that as best I can, so y'all bear with me. Feral hogs are basically domestic pigs which have gone feral, meaning it lives in the wild. These feral hogs, they go by razorback, wild hog, pineywood rooters. I'm sure there's many other nicknames. These pigs that were first introduced to the Americas were probably introduced around Christopher Columbus or De Soto's time, somewhere between 1521 and 1539 in Florida. They released these pigs on purpose so that they would have an available food source. These pigs really thrived. Through the years, they have crossbred with some of the Eurasian, some of the Russian, various different breeds. Anyway, we've come up with what we now have as a feral pig problem. Pigs forage by rooting for their food under the ground with their snouts and their tusks. A group of feral pigs can just wreck a farmer's just acres and acres of planted fields in just a night or two. They're omnivores, so they eat both plants and animals. They are with the native wildlife and the native plants because of their wallowing or rooting up, the destruction that they cause. They also eat turkeys and the turkey eggs and toads and tortoises and the eggs of reptiles and birds. and this can deprive the native wildlife that would normally feed upon these important food sources. In a lot of cases, the native wildlife gets outcompeted by these feral pigs because their reproductive rate is so high. A sow can become pregnant as early as 6 months old. They can bear multiple litters of piglets yearly. And the feral pig problem is exacerbated by the lack of predators. Predators such as bobcats or coyotes may occasionally take a feral piglet or a weakened animal, but they are too small to challenge a full-grown boar that can grow 3 times their weight. A feral pig can be as little as, 77 pounds as an adult to 450 pounds as an adult. And the biggest perk for us is there is nothing better than a fried golden brown pork chop and bacon. When we fill our freezers, then we're able to bless other people with the meat or with the live hogs that we catch. everybody. Got a few little gators over here. Fixing to throw some noodles so we can catch us some catfish, hopefully. Thought we'd bring y'all along on this pretty sunny day. Tonight's low is 55. Tomorrow's high is only 56, so it could be a few days before we get to go fishing again. Let's see if I can zoom on those gators. Baby.
You want a video?
I don't feel like nothing's on it to me, but not yet anymore.
Let me have it. You videotape that alligator.
Alright.
He ain't really all that scared of us.
Can y'all see that alligator? Let me see if we can get it zoomed in. Alright.
I'm gonna try to get you a little closer.
Boy, he swallowed that one good. Looks like we got a little bit of a catfish on there. Look at that one, y'all. That's gonna make a fish fry right by himself. Just a channel cat, but he's a good size. How much do you think he weighs?
Maybe 2.5 pounds.
That's a pretty good one. Well, we got the corn poured out and the blind put up and the trap baited, and we tied the doors open. After that, we did a little fishing on the Chattahoochee River in Lake Eufaula. I guess it's actually technically Lake Walter F. George, but nobody ever calls it that. We caught 4 that day. Matter of fact, one of them was a pretty good size, probably 4.5 pounds. But we gave them to some real nice ladies that were fishing on the bank. And that way we were able to pass the blessing on to them. Then we came home and really threw down. We made look, y'all, there is some crab stuffed shrimp, bacon wrapped, battered, and just about to put in the deep fryer. Y'all look at the finished product. That is bacon wrapped, crab stuffed, deep fried shrimp. And there's a couple of crab cakes in there because ran out of shrimp before we ran out of crab. But y'all, can y'all just taste that?